The sun shines brightly, new life is in bloom. After a long, persistent winter, spring is here at last. This is the kind of weather I would go outside for. Not that I'm going to. I've had this little curiosity in the back of my brain for a while, and spring just happens to be the perfect time to bring it up front. Why in the world does Bambi 2 exist? I actually don't mean that dismissively. I'm legitimately curious. Even after I knew of the direct-to-video sequel assembly line at Disney, I wondered, of all the movies to further explore, why Bambi? Well, as you may recall, Bambi's father, the great prince of the forest, comes for Bambi after the event.
Bambi's mom, she's...
After that, the film cuts to Bambi's adulthood, skipping a major period of development in his life. So while it's titled Bambi 2, it's actually a midquel with a pretty decent story gap to start from. Let's see what they do with it. The movie begins with a good emulation of the classical art style, albeit with a modern polish. It also doesn't waste any time reopening the old wound.
Your mother can't be with you anymore. Come.
Well, if I can be of any help...
Wait. I could use your help. Finding a suitable doe to raise Bambi.
Pointing out that this search might be difficult, Friend Owl suggests that the prince should look after Bambi.
You know as well as I do, a prince looks after the herd. Does care for the young.
Oh, but you are his father, and circumstances being what they are.
Until spring.
When making a sequel decades after the original film was made, it can be hard to get the tone and dialogue just right to fit with the original movie. Here, I'm buying it so far.
For it's out of the darkness that we learn to see, and out of the silence that songs come to be, and all that we dream of awaits patiently. There is life.
Huh. You know, I wouldn't put it on repeat or anything, but I enjoy listening to this song more than I do any of the songs in the original movie. Bambi's father parents mostly by teaching Bambi princely behavior.
Bambi, a prince awakens before the forest does. Bambi! A prince does not woo-hoo.
Oh, great. You're a stoic killjoy. To be fair, that is more or less what I expected from this character.
I remember this one time, Mother and I were out on the
Bambi.
meadow, and this fawn came up to me and Mother and wanted to
Bambi.
play, and...
I think it's best to leave the past in the past. A prince does not look back, only ahead.
But after realizing Bambi is having trouble keeping up, his dad lets him leave to hang out with Thumper for a while.
Why don't you go with your friends to see the groundhog?
But I want to stay with you.
Being the pure soul that he is, I believe that Bambi believes that. But I can also tell that it's just not true.
I'm sure glad your father let you come.
Oh, he understands. He and I are best pals.
And that is just a blatant lie. After coming across Flower,
Come on, Flower, you're gonna miss the groundhog.
Gosh, I hope the groundhog sees his shadow. So I can get back to hibernate.
they go watch the Groundhog Day ceremony, reuniting with yet another familiar character.
Hi, Feline.
I almost didn't recognize you.
I guess it's because my spots are almost gone. And my antlers are coming in too. Can you see them?
Well, I don't see anything.
Well, I don't.
Seems just a little odd to me that Bambi is so keen on impressing Feline when in the first film, he ran away from her a lot. After some difficulty with the groundhog, he finally emerges, and the cloud cover obscures his shadow.
Oh, spring is here! Spring is here! Let's get together and sing.
That song.
Movie said it, not me. Though God knows I wanted to.
Oh, I'll never be frightened again.
Rude, but still kind of funny. This is Rano, an arrogant prick who thinks highly of himself and loves attention.
I wouldn't go that way if I were you. That's where I saw a man.
I'm here. I'm here.
See, man's got this stick that can make his voice sound like one of us.
That's quite a story.
Yeah, unbelievable. You call me a liar? No.
Usually when people say it like that, unbelievable, they mean wow or amazing. Rano must be super insecure if he's getting this defensive.
You want to spar, do ya? No.
Clover and Bambi. Whoa.
Bambi? Isn't that a girl's name?
It is? I only knew about the name Bambi because of this character. Conflict is prevented by the sacred creed of, my mom's calling me.
Why don't you run home to your mama, you big old mama's boy? Coming, mama.
Gotta go.
In timely fashion, Bambi dreams of his own mother that night.
But I feel so alone.
I'm always with you. Even when you can't see me, I'm here.
This is a very sweet moment, and they match the voice pretty well, more or less. The only thing that could make it better is if she was speaking softly as opposed to going full whisper.
Why'd you have to go?
Everything in the forest has its season. Where one thing falls, another grows.
I don't know if it's just me getting distracted by that, but it just seems like an odd choice. Thinking he hears his mother for real, Bambi follows a voice to the meadow, but instead he comes across hunters. Seeing Bambi's distress is tense enough, but I imagine a bunch of viewers got their Bambi's mom PTSD reignited as well. And how does Bambi's father handle the situation? With as little tact and compassion as possible.
It was Mother. I heard her voice.
It was one of man's tricks.
I'm sorry.
What if I hadn't gotten there in time? You could have been... When I tell you to run, you run. Never freeze like that. Ever.
And then he just lets Bambi wallow in his misery alone for a while.
She's never coming back, is she?
No. Winter is coming to an end. You should have little trouble finding a new home for Bambi.
Despite no one dying here, this still feels really intense. I didn't expect Bambi 2 to go for it like this. I'm honestly a little impressed. Another positive point, the transition from tragedy to lightheartedness isn't as jarring as the first film's infamous shift in tone.
Where are we off to today?
You're going to stay near the den where it's safe.
But I'm ready for danger.
Oh dear, he's going into denial to hide from the pain. Bambi spends some more time with Thumper and Flower, because with his mother dead and his father being of no help, friendship is Bambi's best chance for decent therapy in this forest. Bambi wants to prove himself to his father, so Thumper tries teaching him how to be brave.
The trick is to be scarier than whatever's scaring you. See? Grrr! Now let it out with a big grrr!
This goes on for a couple of minutes, and it's utterly precious. Especially Flower.
I'm a turtle. Grrr! What? Turtles are so scary.
Well, he's not wrong. When crossing a log, the group encounters an angry porcupine.
Stay out, you trespassing hooligans!
Let's go before he sees you.
No, this is it. I can show my dad how brave I am.
If he sees you're not at the den like he told you to be, it doesn't matter what you show him, Bambi. You're grounded.
Again!
You don't understand.
bad. I have to get across.
Then go around.
Yeah, that's totally fair. It's not that hard to get across the river without the log. At this point, it's an exercise in stubbornness more than bravery. Oh! Okay, that's not bad. But now that Porcupine is spiteful enough to escalate the situation. Ouch. On the plus side, he has still avoided being grounded. Feline shows up when she hears Bambi in pain, followed by Rano.
Surprised to see you moving.
It was only a porcupine. No. I'm talking about how you froze out on the meadow. And right in front of your father. Rano!
Not that you don't have good enough reason to hate Rano already, but he's actually part of Bambi lore. Here's a visual clue about who he is.
Come on, let's go.
I'm staying here.
Ah, come on.
Rano, quit it!
Look familiar yet?
Bambi.
That's right, same character. Rano's name and his role in the story come from the book that spawned the original film, though his name was never spoken aloud in the movie. So I think it's awesome that this lore was incorporated into Bambi 2. And if you ask me what I thought that angry deer was like as a kid, this is about what I would guess.
Leave her alone!
Did you say something, Bambi?
Oh yeah!
Whoa.
Oh sh**!
When I give you an order, I expect you to... Did you jump?
Yes, sir.
I didn't make a jump like that until I had antlers. Yes. Well,
He doesn't get grounded, and he earns validation from his father? Wow, besides the porcupine incident, this is a really good day for Bambi. The next day's not too bad either, when Bambi actually learns a little bit about what his father does as the Great Prince.
try to feel the forest around you. Does playing in the meadow. I feel it in my hooves. If there was danger, they'd know to stomp, and I'd run to them.
But wouldn't you be scared?
Perhaps, but I would still run to them. A prince may be afraid, but he can't let fear stop him from acting.
He's encouraging bravery, but he's reminding us that fear is natural. What balanced wisdom, and such a fine voice to deliver it too. Who's the actor? Huh? I'm honestly not sure why I didn't catch that. Another song begins, and let's just take a second to observe. Yep, this definitely qualifies as a functioning family unit. During a bit of their fun family time, Friend Owl comes onto the scene with a doe named Mina.
I've heard so much about you. You know, your mama and I grew up together.
You did?
Go to the den.
But I want to hear about Mother.
There'll be plenty of time for that once we get you settled in your new home.
Oh no.
You're sending me away?
No, just let me explain.
Here comes the boom.
I even heard with my hooves.
Bambi, a prince does
That's
not...
all you care about, not about me.
Don't you speak to
I
me.
wish Mother was here instead of you.
Never thought I'd be referencing this movie again, but this scene kind of reminds me of this scene.
You like your job more than me.
Except I'm upset for the characters, not at them.
This is my fault. A prince should not be raising a child.
With this being the one exception. You can shut your mouth, you prideful, manly-voiced fool. You are happy for once in your life. After a heartfelt goodbye to his friends,
I'll never forget any of you. Of course not. Can't forget your bestest friend.
Bambi departs with Mina.
Being a prince means sacrifice. He must ignore his feelings and do what is best for others. Do you understand?
Emotionally speaking, this movie has gone from fluff to angst to somber to heartfelt in just the past couple of minutes. Ordinarily, I think I'd call that rushed and uneven, but what's happening is well-paced, and confused emotions are actually better at conveying how Bambi must be feeling right now. And that statement aside, I just didn't expect to be this emotionally affected by Bambi 2 of all things.
I feel for you. Gosh, I really do. It's gotta be hard to have a father that's so ashamed of you that he'd give you away.
That statement applies to my hatred for Rano as well. Oh, that's just beautiful. Now Rano being a bad apple might actually kill somebody!
Run, Bambi! Faster, Bambi! Don't look back! Keep running! Keep running!
Wait a minute, did they just...
Faster! Faster, Bambi! Don't look back! Keep running! Keep running!
Disney! Reigniting Bambi's mom PTSD once was bold of you, but twice?
That was a cheap move.
Not wanting a repeat experience, Bambi takes action.
We gotta help him. Make your brave face. This one. That's the one.
Yeah, cute stuff. But the fun stops here. Using what he's learned in this movie, Bambi subdues every single dog chasing him. I knew next to nothing about this film before I watched it, so that just amplifies how mentally unprepared I was to witness this. Bambi's dad has been on the scene as well, and there's a brief moment of false tension, this is a midquel after all, to get him to show vulnerability again.
Get up! A prince does not...
Dad.
I'm here. I'm here.
After another goodbye to his friends, more pleasant this time, the film ends on another reunion between father and son.
This is where I first met your mother.
Really?
Yes. I was just about your age.
I'll come back to that.
And all that we dream of awaits patiently. There is
So that was Bambi 2. And it was kind of interesting to see how this film paired with the first film, given their different storytelling approaches. The first film portrayed the cycle of life with minimal but effective dialogue and fairly basic characters, letting the music and visuals work hardest to portray the movie's atmosphere and emotional themes. Bambi 2 tells a story with more dialogue that's emotionally personal, focused on Bambi learning to be brave and bonding with his father, while also working in cute moments, hijinks, and tonally appropriate imagery. Comparisons aside, how did I feel about the movie overall? I went into it wondering why it existed at all. Having seen it now, I'm pretty okay with the fact that it does. I appreciate the development given to the Great Prince and Rano, who were featured lightly in the first film. Being a demon child, Rano made for a great secondary antagonist. I also enjoyed the soundtrack a fair bit. They're not songs for the ages, but they're catchy and uplifting. The childish nature of the characters results in many adorable, gush-worthy moments. And Bambi's relationship with his father was formed through tense and awkward growing pains, which feels very realistic and makes their emotional breakthroughs feel more gratifying. All in all, Bambi 2 was a solidly constructed film that satisfied my curiosity about the story gap left by the first film. Though for a movie intended to fill a gap in the original movie's story, this movie actually creates a perplexing plot hole that may damage its emotional integrity, depending on how you look at it. How old is Bambi's dad again? The first film tells us this about the Great Prince.
Of all the deer in the forest, not one has lived half so long. He's very brave and very wise. That's why he's known as the Great Prince of the Forest.
This made him seem like less than a god, but more than a normal deer. So while I appreciate the pure intentions of this exchange,
I was just about your age.
The idea of the Great Prince meeting Bambi's mother when he was Bambi's age feels like it reduces the potential for just how old he could be. The actual ages of the characters aren't very clearly defined, and terms like none have lived half so long are similarly vague. So technically, the lore does provide wiggle room in that department. Even so, I can't quite shake the opinion that this detail contradicts previously established information about the Great Prince.
Look at that cloud, as high as a tree. At least that's how it looks to me.
You don't understand. I have to get across.
Then go